KCRG-TV9. This is First Alert Weather Now.
Good evening. Welcome to the Wednesday? No, I'm sorry. Usually first day is Wednesday. It's Thursday tonight on First Alert Weather Now. I'm meteorologist Corey Thompson.
I'm meteorologist AJ Rickman.
And we do have some rain moving into eastern Iowa. We've got some fog developing as well. So we do have things happening tonight as well as in the near future as we look ahead.
Yes, we'll also have a look at Grower's Guide today and some news that's going on around the country.
And don't forget your forecast for fun as well. But first, what you need to know as you step outside tonight is that rain chance. That's going to be the big headline as we go through the next 24 hours. Shower activity has started to develop across the area over the past few, and they will continue to develop and expand, especially across southeastern Iowa as we approach the overnight hours. Now, after that, we will see pretty much dry weather for most of this weekend. There's a small exception, but it does look like we will head back for very warm temperatures on Sunday. Next week does come with some cooler weather, as well as a little bit of a chance for some rain or snow. Now, our Dubuque City Cam is one of those spots that is showing a currently quiet picture. Clouds have moved in, though. Temperatures are in the 40s, and winds are out of the south between about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Waterloo hanging on to that 53-degree reading. They made it into the 60s this afternoon, setting a brand new record. Pinpoint Doppler radar otherwise shows the scattered nature of the showers that we have right now, falling in the form of rain, of course, with how warm it is. They're pretty slow moving and sort of meandering generally northward. In and around these showers, we have seen visibilities reduce a little bit, especially the farther southeast you go, and that could expand a little bit overnight too. So your evening planner involves chances for showers. Its temperatures head for the mid-30s overnight. So a little bit cooler by the time you wake up, a little bit wetter potentially too.
And of course, like you mentioned, we are going to be watching some very warm temperatures sticking around even after that rain leaves, and it's going to this time carry into the weekend, which is going to be great for folks that are getting out and about.
It does look like it, and we'll check on the latest on that with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Joe Winters and your forecast for fun.
Lots going on as we head to the end of the week into the beginning of the weekend. Let's not wait any longer and get into your forecast for fun. If the walk on Friday morning is what you're going to do, wait till afternoon, about 45 degrees, but we are going to see the rain come to an end. Saturday looks like a windier day with a mostly cloudy sky and 41. On Sunday, a milder day, the west wind with us, and more sunshine with a high of 54 degrees. That's potentially record setting across portions of eastern Iowa. The Rough Riders are in town on Friday, 45 degrees. That rain is early. Lincoln's in town with a puck drop at 7:05. Saturday, Fargo's in town, same puck drop at 7:05. If you want to see some hockey in Cedar Rapids, maybe you'd like to go to the Osborne Nature Center for the Owl Prowl. That's Friday as well. You can learn more about these secretive nocturnal animals and call in the owls. But bring a flashlight. That's at the Osborne Nature Center from 5:30 until 7 o'clock. Ice fishing tournament, Center Junction, Jones County Central Park, 40 degrees, kids zone only. It's the 8th annual, and the benefit, they'll freeze out childhood cancer. Nature-themed trivia, if that's your style, 40 degrees on Saturday. By the evening hours, 6 to 8:30, you can test your knowledge of plants, wildlife, habitats, and you can win prizes. Iowa State men's basketball Saturday, tip-off at 1 o'clock. Kansas State comes to town with 45 degrees. And let's not forget the big Iowa game against number 4 USC. That's on Sunday. It's also Caitlin Clark jersey retirement. Tip-off is at 12:30. All in all, the weather's going to cooperate for your forecast for fun.
And of course, we do still have some fires that are going on. Dry conditions across eastern Iowa have sparked a record number of field fires for several communities. This is a video of a field in Lynn County earlier this month.
Yeah, it looks like a little ditch fire there, but of course that's all part of this. It's a concern that puts a few counties in eastern Iowa actually under burn bans in January. KCRG TV9's Becky Phelps spoke with the Independence Fire Chief, who says this feels historic.
Field fires are pretty common in northeast Iowa, just not in January.
After 3 years of not seeing any field fires in the month of January, the Independence Fire Department has already responded to 8 this year. 3 of those fires happened on Thursday alone.
It's definitely been historical. I know, talking with some of the retired guys, they can't believe it either.
Chief Blake Hayward says they've seen more than a dozen across Buchanan County, and he says it's caught them a bit off guard.
Yes, I mean, we're not training on field fires this time of year. We're training on CO calls. We're training on chimney fires, things that we would typically respond to.
It's prompted the department to put out a call to action on Facebook, urging people to be careful and warning against outdoor burning. And Independence isn't alone. Dubuque County is one of 3 Iowa counties currently under a burn ban.
Especially yesterday afternoon, fire departments were running all over the county. Multiple fire departments were out. It's just so dry and as windy as it was, people were burning, and it got away from them on a couple of the situations, and it took multiple fire departments to put out the fires.
Chief Hayward says if you don't have to burn, don't. And if you start a fire, don't assume you have it under control.
Fire will still spread. Fire still burns, even if it's cold out. So,
in Independence, Becky Phelps, KCRG TV9 News.
Now, your First Alert forecast with meteorologist AJ Rickman.
Well, like Corey mentioned, we did have some records that were set on Thursday as warm air moved into eastern Iowa. Cedar Rapids climbed to 54. Dubuque set a new record of 55, beating their old record set in 1890 of 52. Waterloo crushed their old record, reaching 62 degrees. That beats their old record of 55, set in 1924. Iowa City, just a little bit cooler. They didn't quite get to their record set in 2012 of 62 degrees. We are going to keep that mild air around. That's why we have rain, not snow, highlighted in your First Alert forecast as we head into the night tonight. That rain begins and then continues into your morning on Friday. As that happens, we're also going to be watching for some fog. Could become dense at times. Be watching for visibilities down to or lower than a quarter mile through the night tonight and then into your Friday morning before things do burn off and clear up as we get into your Friday afternoon. Due to that fog, there is a dense fog advisory that has been issued for portions of eastern Iowa, and that's again going to be for low visibility due to that dense fog. If you run into any dense fog tonight, slow down, turn on your low beams, and just make sure that you're being cautious of other drivers around you. So we have a look over North Liberty right now. That's one place that's seen a little bit of rain falling. You can see there's some wet sidewalks on the roadways as that rain does continue to fall in that area. Temperatures in the 40s, winds are out of the south, continuing to keep mild air feeding into the area. And there's another look at your satellite and radar. You can see that rain is very gradually increasing in coverage across much of the area. We'll continue to see that be the trend tonight, and areas farther south are going to be seeing that heavier rainfall. All part of a bigger system that is currently centered over the Panhandle region of Texas and Oklahoma. That will be moving off to the northeast as we go through the night tonight, bringing with it plenty of rainfall to portions of eastern Iowa. As we go through the overnight hours, again, 11 o'clock, we are looking at that scattered shower activity continuing through the overnight hours and increasing in coverage for our southern counties. As we get into your Friday morning, be ready for a wet commute to work and school, especially south of Interstate 80. We'll be watching for that to continue into your Friday morning before things do taper off as we get into your Friday afternoon. Once we get into Friday afternoon, Friday evening, even the clouds will be clearing out as mostly clear conditions continue to move in as we get into your Friday night. Once we get into the end of your day Friday, again, mostly clear skies, winds switch to a northerly direction. But in terms of rainfall, farther south you are, the more rain you can expect to see. Highest amounts farther south are northern counties, especially north of Highway 20, looking at really little to no rainfall from this system. Temperatures overnight do fall into the 30s, close to freezing in our northern counties. Of course, they won't be seeing a whole lot in the way of precipitation. Areas that do see that rainfall will be seeing exactly that, rain, thanks to temperatures warmer than freezing. And then as we get into tomorrow, those mild conditions stick around. Highs climb into the 40s and 50s. We do have those showers that stick around for us in the morning, and then those do taper off as we get into the afternoon. As I mentioned, skies clear by the end of the day Friday, and that's going to lead us into a fairly nice weekend. Temperatures will be well above average, and we'll have a look at just how warm we could be coming up, as well as a more detailed look at that precipitation chance coming up in your next 9.
Yeah, and we are wrapping up the month of January, believe it or not.
It flew by.
Yeah, no, it really did. And with the weather that we're feeling right now, it feels a little bit on the warm side. But Justin Roberts has a look at how things have progressed so far this month, this year, in your edition of the Grower's Guide for this week.
Our latest Grower's Guide features something we haven't seen in a while, moisture. We're talking rain moving through the forecast tonight through the day tomorrow. Let's walk our way over and take a look at the graphics. And we have been dry here in eastern Iowa the past while. We'll talk about moisture in a second, but one of the things you might have noticed is we're getting more daylight. Let's start with today's sun chart. Take a look, if you will, and we'll show you that those numbers are on the way up. We had a sunrise this morning at 7:21. It sets just shy of 5:20 tonight. And the amount of daylight, 9 hours, 56 minutes. From yesterday, we gained 2 minutes. But take a look since the winter solstice, 9 hours, 7 minutes, 7 seconds today. That 9 hours, 56 minutes and 17 seconds. We have gained 49 minutes
and 10 seconds of daylight since winter solstice. January averages, we keep looking at this and we haven't seen much change, but it will be interesting to see what this warmer stretch we've had the last few days, what it will do to our normal highs. Precipitation 0.9 inches, about 9/10 of an inch of liquid, snowfall over 8 inches. We've been well below normal in moisture and well above normal. Look at some of these temps, 50s last week, 50s this past week. We got the 50s again today. Our low temperatures have been all over the board as well, from single digits above zero to below zero. We kind of worked our way out of the deep freeze this week. Precipitation, again, we're waiting for some tonight. We talk about the winds, and it's been kind of a windy month for us, but traditionally March and April are our windiest months across eastern Iowa. Now, the conversation on precipitation, not a lot here in eastern Iowa. We could pick up some much needed moisture as we head through the night tonight. Average monthly snowfall, no changes here, well below normal for us, and this is usually the snowiest month. What moisture we see tonight and through the day tomorrow looks to be the wet kind and not the white kind. Your drought monitor last week expanded a bit towards the east, off towards Illinois, keeping much of the TV9 viewing area in the moderate conditions. The latest data this week, hardly any change out there, really. You see the latest map, hardly any changes at all, just because it's been so dry. One new feature we're going to zero in on is our ground temperatures. One of the concerns is any moisture we see tonight, will it run off or will it actually soak in? Well, we've certainly taken a dive the last few days right at the freezing mark, about 34 degrees. So little by little, we'll certainly start to watch these numbers climb as we head to the new month, which starts this weekend. That is your latest Growers Guide. Of course, more details and context at kcrg.com. Send it back to you.
Thanks, Justin. Well, like you mentioned, our ground is still frozen as we are still sort of recovering in a way from those bitterly cold temperatures from a week or so ago. Because of that, as that rain falls tonight, be watching for just a little more ponding and runoff than you would ordinarily expect. That rain does move out in time for the weekend. We're looking at a chilly start to your February, at least compared to what we have had. Still, though, well above average, temperatures in the 40s. Groundhog Day, we're going to be looking at the warmest day that we will see for a while, as those temperatures are in the 50s, and we're going to be keeping those warmer than average conditions around again as we go through the weekend and really into the start of next week as well. So we'll have to wait and see what the groundhog says about if we get 6 more weeks of winter. But for the next 6 days, our 9-day forecast does tell you that we are going to see winter trying to make a bit of a comeback. Highs are in the 30s as we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as well as through the rest of the week as well. Still, just a degree or two above average. We will see those temperatures return to near average. And then we can have a look at our next precipitation chance as well. As we get into the middle of next week, we'll be watching for a system to work across the middle of the country. Could bring a combination of rain and snow, could bring rain, could bring snow. The thing about it is we are still several days out from this forecast getting to us, or at least the system getting to us. And like we had about a week ago with the system that will be impacting us tonight, still plenty of time for that forecast to evolve and change. So stay tuned for updates in the coming days. We'll let you know with what goes on with the latest changes as we get closer to that next precipitation chance.
And I think what a lot of people will notice, no Arctic bitter chill anytime soon.
Yes, that is going to be a bit of a relief after what we've had for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're not out of the woods totally yet. We don't know what the rest of February will bring just yet, but we'll bring it to you as we know it. We'll be back again tomorrow night for one more Weather Now this week. Thanks for joining us tonight and have a great night.